My man right here is in the R8. We're gonna go see if we can get a quick interview with him. Hey, quick question for you, bro. What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
About $1 million.
Today we're gonna be asking Texan millionaires how they got rich and how you can start your path to becoming wealthy in today's world. What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
Over $500,000.
In what industry did you ultimately pursue a career in?
I've done a couple things. I've actually been a wealth manager. I've been president and CEO of a company before, and I've also my own construction company.
What was the biggest thing that you implemented throughout your companies to ultimately scale your businesses?
To scale a business, you gotta crawl, walk, run. You don't want to go out there and go all out right from the start because you've got to be able to pick yourself back up. And if you're running too fast, you'll probably over leverage yourself. You'll go into debt too much, learn the industry you're in, and become an expert in it.
What was the best financial decision that you ever made throughout your career?
Getting married to this young lady right here. You got to have a happy and good personal life to be successful in your business life. If it's all about business, at the end of the road, you won't be happy.
What is the best piece of advice that you would tell your younger self?
That every day is an interview. Every day is your resume. It's not what you do when you speak to somebody for 30 minutes in a conversation. It's everything that you do every day and how you live your life, your attitude, how you behave. Basically, in effect, that allows you to address any questions or any circumstance you could have at any company or any individual during the interview process.
A quick intermission. He's going to be drawing a caricature of us real quick. He's got Josh here on the stool. We're going to be checking back in with him just to see how the drawing's going.
In what industry did you ultimately pursue a career in?
Bioinformatics, computer science and medical school combined, yeah.
So are you a business owner?
I actually just sold my business a few months ago.
How much you sell it for?
I'm not at liberty to disclose, but I did okay.
As an entrepreneur, what advice would you tell to someone starting a business in today's world?
I would say that perseverance is one of the most underappreciated aspects of a business. It's this idea that in spite of everything, if it looks like things are going to fail, to stick with it and believe in yourself and your team's ability to overcome the adversity that's going to come your way. Everybody experiences friction. Growth only comes from that. And the people that make it are the ones that stick with it and just find a way in spite of all the odds.
What do you think is the best industry that people should be looking to get into in today's world?
It's in AI. There's huge advancements right now with chat GTP and other things. This is just the beginning. Your job won't be replaced by an AI. Your job will be replaced by someone who knows how to use AI for their job.
Just wrapped up some interviews down at the Riverwalk. We're here at the Westin on the Riverwalk down in San Antonio. Gonna go in real quick and see if we can snag a couple interviews inside the hotel. What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
About $1 million.
That's amazing. What's your net worth?
About 15 to 20 million.
When someone is starting to make money in their careers, where do you think people should really look to invest or put their money to try and multiply and grow the income that they do have?
Well, in real estate, I would say right now in land, they're not making any more. And the land development right now, the costs are always increasing. And you can always do something with the land. If you buy something that has what they call an agricultural use, you're not paying very much in taxes. Eventually, when you sell it and develop it, you'll get your return and your capital gains will come out of there.
What's the greatest lesson that you've learned throughout your career as a real estate developer?
Don't be afraid. Take the plunge. You'll always come up ahead if you take the risk. No matter if you fail, you'll always come ahead of it yourself because you'll learn something from your failure.
We're gonna go check back in with Josh and Bloss and see how the character drawing is going right now.
So how long have you been drawing and doing caricatures for?
For about 35 years now.
Oh my God, that's incredible. Yeah. What is the most fascinating thing you've learned about people since since drawing?
People from all over are friendly, and you know, most people are nice and generous, and everybody's excited, and they all want to know what they would look like in a caricature form. So I'm really grateful, and I feel very blessed to be here on the Riverwalk and drawing you guys especially.
Well, why did you choose to go into art and drawing people for a living?
I wanted to be like Picasso. That was my whole idea. When I was younger, I thought, geez, I'm going to be famous like Picasso. I love Picasso. He's a great guy, and he seems like a likable guy, and you know, and everything else. So I never got it that far, but here I am.
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
I'm in the $300,000 to $400,000 range.
What industry did you ultimately pursue a career in?
I'm an architect.
Are you a business owner by any chance?
Yep. I own my own business. I work for myself, by myself.
What's the business?
Katie Hastings Architecture.
What is your best financial advice that you would tell to the younger generation that you wish someone told you when you were coming out of school?
Seek out your own destiny. There's many different jobs with many different incomes. You have to make choices based on the lifestyle that you want to live.
All right, guys, Bloss is finishing up right now with Josh, so we're going to go see how the drawing is ending up.
What would you say is the best piece of advice that you'd give to the younger generation?
Oh, it's so important nowadays to believe in yourself, and not just believe in yourself, but continue, just never give up. Because, I've been doing this for a long time, and it took a lot to actually be at the level I'm at. I've drawn almost 500,000 people, not realizing that I was going to draw 500,000 people. And I never gave up. I've always believed in myself, and it's very important. Just never give up and keep moving forward. you'll get there eventually.
My man right here is in the RA. We're gonna go see if we can get a quick interview with him. Hey, quick question for you, bro. If you were to go back to when you're in either high school or college and you're having a conversation with your younger self, what is the best piece of advice you tell your younger self?
I would say stay consistent 24/7, because as you get older, things that get in your life. So discipline and just being consistent, man, and you can make it anywhere. I think I noticed you guys from School of Hard Knocks, so
Yes, sir.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
And I live right here, man, so y'all want to check out the spot.
Is that cool if we come up here a little bit?
That's cool.
Let's
for
get it,
sure.
bro. What industry did you ultimately pursue a career in?
Real estate was the first big thing that I invested in.
What's the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
Probably at 1.3 I did gross total.
You know, how can someone really start their path to becoming wealthy in today's world?
Finding something that you're really, really passionate about first, because when you're passionate about it, you typically go pretty hard, and then invest in it, learn everything around it, and then from there, duplicate that same deal every single time. Just take one platform and you just multiply that.
How many units or how many pieces of property do you own right now?
Units and properties together, about 38, 40.
What is the biggest mindset change that is needed in order to become a multimillionaire?
I would say staying humble. Staying humble is a very, very key to growth. With the humbleness, you never stop learning. I think being open and staying humble is like the key that I would give a lot of people, because there's endless growth.
How did you get started doing Airbnb?
It was a friend of mine that I saw on the internet, on YouTube. I reached out to him and he kind of gave me some pointers. I actually did a fitness training as an exchange instead of actually paying for the service. And then that's kind of how I got started. And then I met a lot of other people along the way. I got into another program with Sean, which is Airbnb Automated on YouTube. So I learned a lot from everybody.
If you were to go back to when you started getting into real estate and getting that initial knowledge, but you had zero properties, zero rentals right now, what would be that first step you would take to acquire that first deal?
Definitely research. I would research a whole lot. You know, go to certain websites, go to Airbnb itself, look at the city that you're looking at and look at the area. Try to find something around that area, whether you're buying it or you're going to arbitrage whatever it is, and just dive into it. Then, I was fortunate to get to where I'm at with the properties, but I did do a little research, but I would have done more if I would have known what I know now.
Someone's just looking to get into that first property. How much could they expect to try to be able to make in that in a year off of one property?
Gross, it can be anywhere from $3,000 to $5,500 a month. I have houses that do $85 a month, but those are houses, so it just depends on what you're offering, how big the house is, how small the unit is.
We're here with the RA. You have an exotic car rental business. Yes. How did you get started in that?
So I got started mainly with the properties, and it's kind of like an enterprise in a way. They're booking your property as like a hotel, so then they need vehicles, they need transportation. So I offer regular vehicles, and then I started getting exotic vehicles. So I just give the best experience possible, and that's where the cars come into play.
So if someone wanted to rent from you, how does that process work? Like, do you drive the vehicle to them? Do they come pick it up?
Most of them will come pick it up, but it's through Turo. So Turo is just like the Airbnb for cars. So once you have that, it's a very smooth process.
What cars do you currently have in your fleet right now?
3 Series, BMW, have an i8 on the supercar, not supercar side, but the exotic side. GT Mercedes, which is on the supercar exotic. The R8, which is on the supercar exotic. I have a few other like Toyotas and things like that. E400 as well, Mercedes. But that's about it right now, about 6 cars in the fleet.
So how much could you make off of, let's say, a rental for the R8?
A month, you can make about $8 to $10 a month on some of the cars, if not more. R8 typically goes for about $600-700 a day, depending on how long the person books it, but it's booked every weekend just about. It's not booked right now because I want to drive it, so.
Yeah, I think that's the coolest thing about the exotic car business is you get to rent it out, make some profit on it, and you get the pleasure of driving it. So if someone wanted to get started in the exotic car rental business, how would you recommend them get started?
Get your LLC going, learn how to get the vehicles in your LLC. You might have to build up some business credit, but some like Mercedes will allow you to get in without having the business credit. It's also going to be based on how much you kind of make too when it comes down to the down payment. You can grow really fast actually in the exotic if that's like your go-to. For me, it was just something to be another layer on top of something else I already had.
Guys, that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed, make sure that you leave a like and subscribe for tons of amazing content on the way. And if you guys want to see a video of us going around to the wealthiest golf courses to ask millionaires how they got rich, click the link to watch the video right now.